Yeah, just have a weekly chart up here in Allergan. Um, Allergan is a stock in the biotechnical space that basically, well, it's got a history of acquiring a lot of companies, but it also develops its own drugs. If we look at the chart here, we can see that the shares topped out back in 2015, along with the biotech sector in general in mid 2015 at well over $330 a share. But we've come all the way back down. It's been a down trend ever since, and we're at 210 now. We did bounce in the latter stages of 2017, but we're rolling over again here. There's been a plethora of bad news with relation to patents, also with relation to some drugs in its pipeline not coming up to scratch, not passing tests. So all this has definitely affected shares in the short term. And yeah, investors are just looking to see if there's an opportunity here, because if we look at the biotech sector, this is the IBB. Again, we're on the weekly long-term chart. We topped out here same time around mid 2015, but this sector bottomed. Very strong bottoming formation here in the first 6 months probably of 2016, and biotech has been heading north ever since. So definitely over the last 2 years, Allergan has struggled. Not good for Allergan shareholders, especially when they see the sector in general rise a lot. And investors have been trying to pick a bottom here, which has only been natural. It actually happened with Gilead. Gilead finally bottomed close to $60 a share. And it should happen with Allergan also, but the question is when. If you see here, the slow stochastics in Allergan very oversold here at present. Momentum indicators also very oversold. But like if we just bring this down to a year, the chart, we still have not formed a weekly swing here. We would have to, this is the low point, which was actually 3 weeks ago. This is the low point of Allergan shares, nearly reached $200 a share there 3 weeks ago. We've rallied back up to 210, but we would have to actually surpass this point here at about $227 a share for a weekly swing to take place. So there's definitely risk with getting long this underlying at present. If we go to the daily chart, we can see that the stock is clearly in a downtrend. Its 200-day moving average is at 230. Again, we're at 210 at present. And if I've learned anything in investing, it's you want to be where the trend is. You want to be invested where the trend is at. And Allergan to me at present, although it's getting very cheap, is still not convincing me that its downtrend has finished. I would preferably need to see a weekly swing. I would need to see sentiment get far more pessimistic, and I would probably need it to see it return to its 200-day moving average of 230. Like once it gets above its 200-day moving average, investors are going to get interested again. Even at $230 a share, this stock is still very cheap compared to its historic valuations. So if it can rally $20 a share over the next few weeks, would be even better if it rallied at the same time there was a downturn in the sector in general. Then we would be definitely thinking of scaling into this stock. Allergan announces earnings in about 26, 27 days time. Again, it could be a prime candidate for an earnings trade at that time, but presently I still see no reason to get long here despite its perceivingly cheap valuation. Biotech has had a huge move over the last month or so, and investors are scouring biotech companies at present to see if there's any value there. There is value here, but the trend needs to change before we will contemplate going long here.